What if the death of director Leon Vance becomes the moment that changes NCIS forever? After everything Vance represented, strength, control, loyalty, and the ability to keep the agency together through years of chaos, his loss would create the biggest leadership crisis the show has seen in a long time. And when fans start asking who could possibly replace him, two names rise above everyone else: Tony DiNozzo and Ziva David. That idea may sound surprising at first, but when compared to the current state of NCIS, it begins to make real sense. Right now, the team is talented, capable, and experienced, but the structure feels different from the classic era. The modern squad can solve cases, but many longtime viewers still feel something missing. That balance of personality, emotion, and chemistry that once made every episode feel bigger than the case itself. Back during the original NCIS years, the team had natural energy. Gibbs was the foundation. McGee was growing into himself. Abby brought life into the lab. Ducky brought wisdom. But it was Tony and Ziva who often created the heartbeat of the show. Their presence brought humor, tension, unpredictability, loyalty, and emotional depth all at once. Even simple scenes between them could become unforgettable because fans knew there was always history underneath every word. Compare that to current NCIS. Parker has brought a calmer leadership style, which many viewers enjoy, and the newer team has had strong moments. Torres, Knight, McGee, Palmer, and Casey all contribute something valuable, but the chemistry feels more professional than personal. The team works together well, yet many fans still feel the emotional spark that defined classic NCIS has never been fully replaced. That is why Tony returning as director would be such a fascinating twist. People remember Tony as the joking agent who hated desk work, but they often forget how much he evolved. He learned directly from Gibbs, led major investigations, handled dangerous undercover missions, and matured into someone far more responsible than the younger version fans first met. Compared to current NCIS leadership, Tony would bring experience from the old system while understanding how field agents actually think. He knows pressure, loss, and sacrifice. Most importantly, he knows what NCIS used to be at its strongest. Then there is Ziva David, who may be even more qualified in some ways. Ziva brings international intelligence experience, tactical discipline, and the kind of presence that commands respect instantly. Compared to many characters in the current era, Ziva represents a level of toughness and strategic awareness rarely seen. She has survived wars, betrayals, and personal tragedy. That kind of history creates leaders who do not panic under pressure. If NCIS needed someone to restore order after Vance's death, Ziva would be a powerful answer. Now imagine them returning together. Tony and Ziva would represent two sides of what made old NCIS great. Tony brings heart, instinct, and connection with the agents. Ziva brings precision, strength, and strategic thinking. Compared to the current team dynamic, where everyone plays their role but no one truly dominates the room emotionally, Tony and Ziva together would instantly shift the atmosphere of the show. This would also create a major story opportunity for McGee. Many fans believe McGee deserves to become director, and he absolutely has the resume for it. But compared to Tony and Ziva, McGee still represents the bridge between old NCIS and new NCIS. If Tony and Ziva return temporarily to stabilize the agency, they could mentor McGee into becoming the next permanent leader. That would honor the past while finally investing in the future. And that may be the biggest issue NCIS is facing today. The show has continued successfully, but it still lives in the shadow of its strongest years. Every time a legacy character is mentioned, fan excitement rises immediately. Every time Tony or Ziva's names come up, viewers remember the era when relationships mattered just as much as investigations. Current NCIS still has quality stories, but it is constantly compared to the emotional power of its earlier seasons. So, if Vance dies and the director seat becomes empty, replacing him with Tony and Ziva would be more than fan service. It would be symbolic. It would show that NCIS still remembers what made it great while helping the new generation move forward. Tony would bring warmth back into leadership. Ziva would bring authority. Together, they could restore the balance many fans feel the show has been missing. The real question is not whether they are qualified. It is whether NCIS is ready to reconnect with its own legacy. Would Tony and Ziva be the perfect replacements for Vance after his death, or should McGee lead the next era alone? Let me know in the comments, and if you love deep NCIS theories, comparisons, and future predictions, subscribe for more.